What's up, guys? Welcome back to another podcast of the K&V Random Show. I'm Vin. We got Kevin right here.
What's going on, guys? This is Kevin.
And we are talking about a big topic today that's trending right now, the Ariana Grande dress length. So I'm going to let Kevin start in on that.
Yeah, there's a lot of, discussion going on, a lot of heat on her going on regarding that whole incident, So a little background story if, you were under a rock or haven't really watched the news. So Ariana Grande was seen at Aretha Franklin's funeral, offering tributes, singing and whatnot, and she was doing a performance. And the argument regarding that was her dress length seemed to be inappropriate, for the occasion. And, of course, with that being a little too revealing, regarding that audience, that type of environment, there was obviously unwanted eyes going on, a lot of gazing, a lot of, unwanted, activity going on in that whole situation. And with that being said, a few days ago, I was more interested in the topic because I was on my Facebook, and I don't want to call these people out. I'm gonna, leave their names out of it. But I saw a comment here, and I'm gonna read from it. It says, "If men feel like they can't control themselves around women, those men should be put in cages at a zoo like untamed wild animals, because that's what they are admitting to being." And the person that posted this, she put a love reaction to it, which I find that a little distasteful. And then it goes on because now we have a few other ladies contributing. One is saying men are perverts. They only agree that the length is, of course, inappropriate because it wasn't a concert, but that men are perverts. And the person who posted this whole post is saying, yeah, they're definitely gross, pervs, blah, 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 blah. Getting into that. Now, these comments definitely left a distasteful vibe in my mouth because I understand where the intent is. Vin, I know you could agree that, Ariana Grande is someone's sister, someone's friend, someone's cousin,
someone's daughter, important,
Exactly, and someone's daughter, and that's someone's, fiance now. She's engaged to that guy, Pete Swartzen or something like that. But, that's... Ariana is valuable to someone, so I get the intent because that's very inappropriate, and that kind of activity, that kind of situation is uncomfortable, and I could totally understand that. I'm not discrediting it, but you're not helping the situation by immediately slamming a man for feeling, attracted towards a woman. Now, again, here are my three pillars when it comes to, of course, expressing yourself towards a woman sexually. As long as it's appropriate, healthy, and respectful towards a woman, there's definitely nothing wrong with expressing how you feel sexually about a woman. Now, these comments that I read with the whole wild animal, they should be caged up, that's just not helping the cause. You're kind of just, shooting yourself in the foot and pretty much agreeing that, all men are that way, when in fact, they're really not.
No, I mean, there's... The world, I think the world is, my opinion is the world is different nowadays. I was talking to someone in their mid-50s recently, and they said, when we were younger, things were different. We used to walk home from school and middle school and everything. Granted, there are people that still do that now, but... It's like anything else. There are bad people everywhere. There's a couple bad, there's some good guys, there's some bad guys. It's just the way of the world. But like Kevin said, to say this and that, it's actually provoking more.
Right, no, and I totally agree. Calling men, gross perverts, supercharging your comments, really putting more umph into it. You're not helping the situation. Now, again, diving into, a man's sexuality and, now I kind of feel nowadays it's with feminism on the rise and the Me Too movement and things like that. A lot of men, they're being a lot more, they're being a lot more cautious now. I would say that, like, there's more awareness of, what's going on. And obviously, I'm not discrediting women's experiences when it comes to unwanted attention and, possible rape cases and whatnot like that. But, as long, again, with my 3 pillars, as long as it is healthy, appropriate, and respectful towards a woman, a man should never, I repeat, never be ashamed for expressing their sexuality towards a woman. It's only healthy. Like, we're all human beings. A man and a woman, they have their needs and they have their drives, for food, for water, for sex, for anything. So I just think, with feminism coming out and, like, the whole Me Too movement, then you do have these guys that actually do act inappropriately that way. Like, I get it. I'm not discrediting your bad experiences, and I'm not condoning, I just want to put this out there, I'm not condoning, women getting raped or abused or put through uncomfortable situations. I'm not condoning that at all, because I have a sister, I have a mother, I have female friends, and of course I would never want them to be in that situation. All I'm just suggesting is that you shouldn't bash every single man out there. Yes, there are going to be the ones, like what Vin said, there's just bad people and then there's good people. That's just the way of the world. We don't live in a perfect world.
It's like priests and cops. You have some bad cops, some bad priests. They're not all, but
exactly. Like, like you're just going to have, like, those some bad cops, and then there's good cops. There's good priests, there's bad priests, like, there's good people and then there's bad people. It's just not fair to say that, like, all men should be categorized as gross wild animals or perverts and whatnot, when in fact, there are men out there that genuinely want a relationship with a woman. They want to have that real connection. Of course, it's a shame that, like, women out there, like some women out there, have had bad experiences and they've been put in uncomfortable situations, and that's totally fine. Like, I understand that, but don't just slam a man for expressing his, sexuality. Again, respectful, appropriate, and healthy. As long as those 3 pillars are in there and there's consent and, everything is in place and there's no uncomfortable vibes going on, then it's perfectly okay for anyone, man or woman, to express their sexuality.
Sure. I mean, everybody goes through something. One of our basic videos that we're going to do in the future is that everybody's fighting a battle that you don't know about, and they've gone through something. I can give you guys a quick example. Last summer, I was at a party, and one of my friend's friend said to me, "Oh, I'm working off the books right now, so I don't have benefits, this and that." So I said to her, "Well, you have a boyfriend, right?" So she goes, "Yeah." I said, "All right, so when you guys get married, you'll go on his benefits. What's the big deal?" When I tell you this girl went off, I said to her, I said, "What did I do to you? What was so bad?" I offended her because I told her to go on her future husband's benefits, which everybody does one way or the other. Either you're on your wife's benefits or you're on your husband's benefits. That's just the way of the world. You're both. Some people do take their own insurance separately, but for the majority, they go on whoever has the better insurance.
Right.
So it was
like,
an experience.
And, like, here's the thing, like, I'm still obviously, like, relatively green to the topic of, like, health insurance and whatnot, but, like, would you say that, like, if, like, a man or a woman that goes on the opposite's insurance, wouldn't that save money? Wouldn't that be cheaper?
100%. Yes. Imagine paying out of your pocket for insurance. The people that have to do it, it's so much money.
You see, exactly. Like, and that's a good topic, too. Like, certain, like, men and women, like, they have that pride of, like, wanting to be, they're together, but they're independent. So, I get that, like, there's that pride factor when it comes to, like, oh, I don't want to go on my wife insurance, or, oh, I don't want to depend on my husband for my benefits. It's like, no, like, it's already established that you guys are married, like, you're a team. You're your husband and wife. You love each other, hopefully, and, like, you guys, yeah, like, you guys should be, 50-50. Like, my father always taught me, it's a two-way street, like, you give your 50%, the other 50% will come back at you, hopefully, and that's what a marriage should be. But getting back to the whole dress length in particular, do I agree that it was a little too inappropriate? Yes, I could say that dress length was a little short for an occasion like that, and would I say that unwanted attention happened, because I did see, like the whole pastor was putting his hand around her chest, and it was a little too...
The pictures say it all.
Yeah, and you saw that she was visibly uncomfortable, and, would I say that happened? Yeah, it did. I'm not condoning that at all, but here's the thing, though, specifically when it comes to the dress length, I see the argument that, it was too short, and it caused unwanted attention and stuff. I get that, but we're all there. You're all there. Obviously, I wasn't there, but people are there to offer their contribution to the legacy of Aretha Franklin. All right, so why are you gonna focus on that dress? And then obviously what happened to her after the dress, with the whole unwanted attention, that's another thing. But one, why are you focusing on the dress so much? She's there singing, offering contribution to Aretha Franklin's legacy. Now, two, when it comes to that unwanted attention, yes, in a dress like that, of course, that's going to cause unfortunate situations. A woman is going to be very attractive, and there's going to be guys that don't know how to express themselves, or they take it too far. Am I discrediting that that never happens? Of course not. Now, again, with my 3 pillars, as long as you're appropriate, healthy, and respectful towards a woman, a man should never, ever be bashed for expressing their sexuality. Because like women, men have needs as well. Obviously, it needs to be in an appropriate way to express yourself. But, again, no one should ever be bashed, for expressing themselves for how they feel about a woman or man if it's an appropriate, healthy, and respectful manner.
Absolutely, 100% agree. I mean, as Kevin said again, as long as the woman consents and as long as she doesn't feel uncomfortable. I mean, the worst things about it are, an example is a lot of girls I know, they don't even like to go to the gym, other than that they don't want to work out, but they don't like to go because they get stared at. You're in you're in the yoga pants. Oh, yeah. It's going to cause attention, and it's just, I guess it's something that's unavoidable in the world, Like Kevin said, guys are going to be attractive to women are going to be attractive. It's just going to happen. But, again, you keep it respectful. You don't stare. You do a quick glance if you have to, and you move forward, And that's the number one. We'll get into it in another podcast of respecting relationships and this and that. But, if my friend was... one of my friends, his girlfriend likes to dress a certain type of way. I have no issue. I don't look at her. It's my friend, so it just depends on the guy and how he can control himself.
Right. And again, I'm definitely promoting, the whole self-control, self-discipline, a respectful, appropriate manner towards expressing yourself towards a woman, in a healthy way. As long as there's consent, as long as, there's, just no creepy vibes or anything like that, then there's nothing wrong with someone expressing how attractive you are to them. There's nothing wrong with expressing yourself. Just as long as, again, I always reiterate this in this podcast, I just want to make sure it's known, respectful, appropriate, healthy manner. As long as those 3 things are in place, there's consent and there's no uncomfortable vibes going on, the man and woman can definitely express themselves sexually towards each other. So we're going to wrap it up on this post for right now. We're actually going to get more into relationships and why, I would say it's a little bit harder in today's day and age when it comes to, guys our age or women our age, because there's just, you could just say it's like a whole mess, would you say?
Oh, 100%. I mean, we're here to tell you guys about our experiences. We've been through a lot. We've done a lot. We're going to do podcasts based on our experiences to help you guys. And if you're having a bad day, you pop on a podcast. What more could you ask for? We help you out and you watch a video. So please like and subscribe for some more videos. And we'll be in the loop.
Yeah, we'll definitely keep you guys in the loop. So for next podcast, it may be hopefully next podcast or maybe in the next few podcasts. I'm not sure. But I definitely want to bring on my friend that I'll definitely introduce and talk to you more about with dating and relationships. He is a dating coach, and definitely want to bring him on the podcast. So like and subscribe. We'll see you next time.
See you guys.